Hey guys, what is going on? What is going on? Levi Peril. Don't know if this is coming in clear. So, like and subscribe. Wait. What did I say? It's when you have so many channels, you're used to your slogan. Welcome to Whiskey Pierre Lewis channel, right? So here we talk about trending topics, news, what's going on, and things that I want to talk about. Come on now, right? So in this situation, right, we have a owner of a home who has a tenant squatting in the situation. Now, I did part one. No, I did the whole thing of what happened, but I'm trying to do a segment so now you guys can see the situation, what happened, right? So without further ado, let's see what is going on. What happened, right? So backstory, what you're about to hear: owner decides to rent the space to a Airbnb, right? Person. Now the person moves in, right, from the Airbnb booking. As the person moves in, they set it up for a month, right? Or so, whatever it was set up with is what it was set up with. Next thing that happened is this, right? The person who set it up decided, you know what? I want to stay longer, right? Now, if it was, most people would probably go to the Airbnb, account, maybe push it to be extended. Who knows? The fact that she stayed that long, who knows? The owner probably could have been like, hey, listen, you doing another 30 days? This is good for me. You know what I mean? I have you here, it's paid, and I'm good to go. Who knows? Or maybe they had some kind of dealing we didn't know about. But at the end of the day, we have the person who was the Airbnb, booking person that came in to stay in the place, right? Decides to stay longer. The owner said, hey, you got to go. What we had agreed with through Airbnb is over, right? Or so whatever, took place between them, right? But the person who booked the Airbnb decides to stay longer. And because of that, since she went past her stay, she now became a squatter. Now, months later, this is what happened. Months later, the owner is speaking out. And thank God for this reporter, because she stayed on the news. Let's see what happened.
I've owned a home since 2019.
2019.
Yes.
This is your home right behind us.
Yes.
And you're not allowed to go inside.
I cannot go inside. Even if I bring the police, she can deny me access to the property.
And why is that?
Because she was an Airbnb guest, and she asked me, she came in originally as an Airbnb guest, and she said that she had a fire in her previous apartment.
First, let's give her an applause because she is going through a lot. Let's give her an applause because she is going through a lot, right? During this time, she's going through a lot, right? Let's go.
And that she was waiting for renovation. So she originally booked for 30 nights, and she said she just was coming out of a hotel situation and just wanted a home for her and her daughter and a small dog. Okay, fine. Then as the reservation continued, she kept asking to extend the reservation because her home was not ready because of the fire, which made sense to me because, I know how long insurance things can happen. And then in
I didn't
August,
realize.
I asked her, when are you leaving? And she said at the very latest September because she's buying a property and she's
Bam, there it is, there it is.
And so
I gotta
began
recap
to
and
tell
go
her,
back.
you
Hold up, let's
must
pause.
leave.
Bam.
I gave her the Airbnb guest, and she asked me, she came in originally as an Airbnb
let's give her
guest,
another
and she said
applause
that she had
because
a
she's
fire
going through a lot.
in her
Let's
previous
go.
apartment, and that she was
Prayers for
waiting
her also,
renovation.
but
So she
obviously
originally
the
booked for
result
30
was
nights,
there.
and she said she just was coming out of a hotel situation and just wanted a home for her and her daughter and a small dog. Okay, fine. Then as the reservation continued, she kept asking.
When I say the result is there, it's because I already see it. So this is a future looking back of the story, what happened, right? I've already done a video where the court already, gave a solution to her situation, right? Whatever it may be, because I want you to see it, right? And now she's talking out on what happened before all that. So I'm doing segments so you guys can see what happened, but I have to go back because obviously the updated news came in, so I had to do it. So this is the me in the present or the future, I guess. I don't know. Reviewing this so I can give you guys, piece it all together, so when you finally see it, part 1, part 2, and resolution, there it is.
To extend the reservation because her home was not ready because of the fire, which made sense to me because I know how long insurance things can happen. And then in August I asked her, when are you leaving? And she said at the very latest September, because she was buying a property and she began to stop paying. And so I began to tell her, you must leave. I gave her a nightly rate of $100 per night. I never gave her any tenancy. I never gave her a lease. This was never supposed to be a long-term thing. And she started not paying on time. And I continued to tell her, you have to leave, you have to leave. After September, she's giving me no money. She tried to put the utilities in her own name. She took me to court to try to put a restraining order to block me from access from the property. And we ended up going to court, and she entered into a legal agreement agreeing to vacate the property by November the 15th. After talking to a lawyer, they explained.
One of the other thing is, as I'm listening to her and her frustration and stuff, I'm glad that the video paused at this moment. You can see the bags under her eyes, so that means she was probably restless. Who knows? She probably spending nights not sleeping. Who knows? Maybe she had to go get an extra job. Maybe she had to work overtime. Maybe she had to whatever funds she had expended so she could pay for this place while this is going on. Who knows? Maybe the house mortgage company is helping her out by telling her story. Who knows what the resolution is as far as what she's going through. But man, you can see the bags in her eyes, and you can see that this lady is going through a lot.
Explained to me that she could try to get tenant rights in D.C. So to offer her some relocation money, which I did, to offer her to leave. She signed it. We went to court. It's in the court record. And November the 15th came, and she told me, this no longer works for me. Do what you have to do. I'm not leaving. I went to the police with my order, and they said there's nothing that they can do, that I need to go to court, which I've done, and I do not have a court date until December the 11th. In the meantime, I see her taking out my property out of the house. She will not allow me access to the house. I've put this sign up because she's constantly lying to the police, and she tried to have my car towed. She's called in false reports on me. She called the police and told them I stole her car when her car was legally ticketed and towed by Department of Public Works in DC, and I can't get into my property.
What has this been like for you to look at your home, you can't go inside, and you can't get the person in?
Also behind her, if you look, the house that she's talking about, right, like the property, is literally right here. See this car behind her right there? The house is the white one that's right there. Whether it's a house, condominium, but it's right there. It's right there, right? Now, I mentioned it's right there for a reason. Now, if you see my mouse right here on the door, right, if you look up, you'll see a red sign. And in that sign, it's informing the tenant. It's informing people to be aware that the tenant, squatter. The squatter is not supposed to be there. But guess what? The person who's in the house currently, well, at the time, decided to just put, it looks like, what is that? Oh, it's a sheet. She decided to put like a sheet on it, right?
And they're out. It's a stranger.
It's infuriating. I have a $4,000 a month mortgage. All the utilities are in my name. All of the responsibilities are on me, and I can't get into my property. There's a leak in the property. The water bill is escalating. I can't get in there to see what's going on, and I'm the only one responsible for the home, and I can't get any help. I went to court to try to get an expedited order because she's threatened me. She's made fictitious calls to the police over 15 times, and I still can't get any help.
What? I know you mentioned you went to the court multiple times. You have multiple orders. What are those orders for? What are those orders supposed to do? You mentioned you even had U.S. Marshals come. So when the U.S. Marshals came, to remove her from the property, what happened?
The U.S.
Wow.
Marshals have not come. It's
Okay.
the police, and they're saying I need the marshals to do it. I have an attorney who filed an order to try to enforce the contract that she agreed that she's not a tenant. She's an Airbnb guest. She never was a tenant or has no lease on the property, and we don't have a court date. So until I get a court date, I can't get the marshals to get her out. And even then, the lawyer informed me that they may or may not enforce the contract.
And why is that?
Because DC tenant laws allow tenants to stay. She stayed previously, I found out recently, at her previous apartment for 13 months and only paid 1 month of rent. And this is a chronic thing throughout Washington, D.C. So they have tenant rights, and I think that she knows that. So she's trying to force me into a tenant relationship with her, a landlord-tenant. And I clearly have told her, I am not a tenant. You're not a tenant. I'm not a landlord. I have no interest in doing that because I'm familiar with these kind of things in D.C.
How does she go from being an Airbnb guest, a visitor, to a tenant now in your home?
If you stay anywhere for over 31 days, you can claim tenancy.
All right, I'm gonna pause it right here. Go back to me real quick. Bam, transition. But yeah, so this landlord has a squatter that's literally staying at the place, right? She can't do anything. Like, she tried removing the locks, right, changing it, because when the squatter came in, apparently something had happened, as far as like the locks being changed. The squatter called the police, was able to get into the house, or the property. And as the squatter got in the property, decided to change the lock. So she can't even get into her own property, right? And now this is the beginning. She can't get into her property in the beginning. But prayers, things happen, and who knows? Who knows? There should be a resolution. And I'm saying this in the future because I already know the resolution. But, you know, she had a helping hand, you know. And hopefully this is a good lesson she learns and is able to move forward and is able to do, I don't know. We just need to pray for this lady because, man, she I think she spent 9 months or so going through this ordeal, right? Who knows? 9, 10, whatever the situation is, man, ultimately I just hope the best for her and success. But man, that's tough. Like, subscribe, guys. This is the Whiskey Pierre Lewis channel. I finally got my channel so I can talk, but I gotta go. Like, subscribe, I'm out. Peace.